I can wait.
And we shall need many devices.
You shall not find me lacking in devices. In the word to drop here, the rumor started there. It will grow up about her in whispers that she is tainted in blood. She will be known as double-tongued, a demon with an angel's face, a prophetess of evil. Her own people will rise and take her scepter from her.
But, Your Majesty, you...
However, I am not to appear in this. Always and above all, I am to seem her friend. You would say that I am in myself more nearly what will be said of her.
No.
Perhaps. But that is not what is said of me. Whatever I may be, it shall be said only that I am the Queen of England and that I rule well.
With expert prompting from Elizabeth in England, the court of Scotland fast becomes involved in a morass of lies, deceits, and petty intrigue. Lord Darnley, vapid of countenance, vain in bearing, has already begun to press his favor with Mary, Queen of Scots.
Mistress Beaton, is it true that our sovereign is inaccessible this day?
Quite true, I fear, my Lord Darnley.
Oh, heaven help the man who tries to woo a queen.
Lord Darnley is to remain within call. It is Her Majesty's pleasure.
Oh, well, that's something.
Oh, my Lord Bothwell.
I see my name's remembered, and that's a triumph. Tell the sweet Queen Lord Bothwell would see her alone.
Sir, she's closeted with her secretary. We're not free to speak with her.
Closeted? So? I like not that word closeted. Who is there here can speak with her and tell her?
My lord, she has spaced this day off into hours. So many to each, and I fear your name is not scheduled.
I've been sloughed off much the same way, my lord.
Run along, then. And practice wearing that tin sword you got hung on you before it trips you.
Trips me?
Aye, run and play. This one's been used. The nicks along the edge were made on tougher than you. Tell my Lady Queen I wish to see her, now.
My orders are strict, my lord. Her Majesty has great problems of state.
And they concern me more than some others. Now I've argued enough with women and women-faced men. A room's a room and a door's a door. Shall I enter without warning, or will you announce me to her?
Your Majesty.
I will speak with my lord alone.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Do I find you angry?
At these pests and midges.
But you saw me yesterday.
I have been standing since this early morning. I and some 100 crows out in a coppice on a cliff's edge, waiting for the smoke to rise from your breakfast chimney. And by the Lord, these crows are a funny company. I've had 4 full hours to study them.
You come to tell me this?
I come to tell you I've never shown such patience for a woman. Not in my life before. When I would see my girl, why, I must see her.
Your girl? Give me leave, since I'm a queen with a kingdom to reign over, to queen it once in a while.
I tell you truly, I've the manners of a rook. For we're all crows here, and that's what's understood in this town. But I could be tame and spit my tongue with courtly speeches if I could be sure of you. If I could know from one day to another what to make of your ways. You shut yourself up with secretaries and ministers, harking for weeks on end to that truffle, while I perch me on the rocks and look my eyes out.
Mm-hmm. When I was but 13, a pretty lad fell in love with me. He'd come all afternoons, late midnight, early dawn, sopping with dewfall. He'd stand there waiting for a glance. I've never had such tribute.
This is no boy. This is a man comes beating your door in now. It may be you're too young to know the difference, but it's time you learned.
You've had your way, my lord. We've spoken, though I had no time to give. And now, with your pardon...
You'll go about the business of marrying someone else.
I cannot marry you. I beg you. Ask it not. Speak not of it. Let me go now.
They've made a slave of you. This half-brother of yours, this fox of a Maitland, this doddering Châtellerault. What they'd like best of all is to wreck you, break you completely, rule the country themselves. And why they fear me is because I'm your man alone and man enough to stop them.
Yes, you are man enough. It's dangerous to be honest with you, my Bothwell, but honest I'll be. Since I've been woman-grown, there's been no man save you, but I could take his hand steadily in mine and look in his eyes steadily, too, and feel in myself more power than I felt in him. All but yourself. There is aching fire between us. Fire that could take deep hold and burn down all the marches of the West. And make us great or slay us. Yet it's not to be trusted. Our minds are not the same. If I gave my hand to you, I should be pledged to rule by wrath and violence, to take without denial and mount on others' ruin. That's your way. And it's not mine.
You'll find no better way. There's no other way for this nation of churls and cravens. Here you strike first or die. Your brother Murray seeks your death. Elizabeth of England seeks your death, and they work together.
Nay, you mistrust too much.
God help thee, child.
Oh, be staunch to me. You have been staunchest of all. Let me not lose your arm, no, your love. You know how much you have of mine. I'm here alone, made queen in a set, hard, bitter time. Aid me and not hinder.
So it shall be. Lady dear, do you use guile on me?
No, sweet. I love thee. And I could love thee well. Go now and leave me. We've been seen too much together.
You must lay this hand in no one's else. It's mine.
I have but lease on it myself. It's not my own. But it would be yours if it were mine to give.
And now, to Mary's court comes an ambassador from England, in the person of Lord Throgmorton, whose purpose is to trick the Scottish Queen into marriage with Lord Darnley.
Come down to earth and speak without swaggering. What is it that Elizabeth would have me do?
There is some hope, Your Majesty, that when you seek a husband, you will not do so to bolster up your claim to the English crown.
That had not occurred to me.
But surely your choice in marriage will imply your attitude.
I have no intention of plighting my troth at once. But if I had, I've received enough advice already on that point. A mort of it. And I'm tender.
Say no more, madam. And I will say no more.
Oh, out with it now. Give me the advice. I won't take it.
You see, Your Majesty, Elizabeth had a fear of this. The young Lord Darnley has come north against her will. Why he's here, we don't know. Nor whether by invitation or what plans you have concerning him.
I have none.
Then, if you will, forget what I have said. It was only that this Darnley combines to exactness what Elizabeth dreads in case you marry. After you, he's next to her throne. And if you had a son, why, he'd be heir to England. And I think the plain fact is that Elizabeth would rather choose her own heir.
Now, heaven forgive me. I am heir to the throne of England. And after me, whatever children I have. Is it part of her love to cut me off from my right?
In brief, my queen has wished that you might choose Bothwell or perhaps some
and
other.
And that's the message. We're down to it at last. Lord Throckmorton, I marry where I please, whether now or later. And I abate not one jot of my good blood's lien on the English throne. Nay, I shall rather strengthen it if I can.
This will hardly please.
I could hardly expect it would. But I, too, am a power, and it matters what pleases me. This was all?
This is all I am commissioned with.
I shall see to your safe conduct. Yes?
Will Your Majesty see a gentleman calling himself Lord Bothwell?
He's in again?
There's no keeping him out.
The Doxy invited me in herself.
You may go, Beaton.
Yes?
Lord, I have heard from England.
Mary McQueen, what you heard I could have guessed. She's a demon. She bodes you ill.
I believe it now. Oh, would heaven I'd been born deep somewhere in the Highlands and there met you. A maid in your path and you but a Highland bowman who needed me.
Why, if you love me, Marie, you're my maid and I your soldier.
And it won't be.
Aye, it will be.
Look, Bothwell, I'm a sovereign and you obey no one. Were I married to you, you'd be king here in Edinburgh. And I'd have no mind to your ruling.
They'll beat you alone. Together we could cope them.
Love you I may. Love you I have, but not now and no more. It's for me to rule, not you. I'll deliver up no land to such a hothead. If you'd been born to the blood, I'd say, aye, take it. The heavens had a meaning in this. But the royal blood's in me. I will have no master. Nay, I am jealous of this, my Stuart blood. Jealous of what it has meant in Scotland. Jealous of what it may mean. They've attacked that blood, and I'm angry. They'll meet more anger than they know.
And who has angered you? Not I.
Elizabeth.
I thought so. She's afraid if I'm half a prophet that you'll marry me.
No, her fears run the other way. She's afraid I'll marry Darnley and threaten her throne, and so I might.
Will you tell me what that means?
I mean, if I have a son, he'll govern England.
And so he might if he were mine.
Nay, might. But it must be. She dares to threaten my heritage.
Does that mean Lord Darnley? Aye, lady, would you stoop so low to choose a weapon? This is not worthy of the girl I've known. Am I to be ousted by a papejay? An end of mouldy string? You take too much on yourself for the future. Think of us, and the hours close on us here we might have together. Leave something to the gods in heaven. They look after lovers.
Oh, what's a little love? A trick of the eyes, a liking to be set beside the name you'll have forever or your son will have? You don't offer enough, Lord Bothwell. You're not true in it, and I'm not true to myself and what I feel for you.
I'm no lute player to languish and write sonnets when my lady says me nay. But when the tug begins around your throne, you'll be lost without me. Try no threats toward England. It will tax a hardly man all his time to hold what you have.
We differ there, too. What I have, I'll defend for myself.
If you marry this Darnley, I take away my hand.